Welcome back, everybody. Another week of Everything's Everything. This is going to be episode 24, right?
24.
24. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing. Please turn on notifications. You know, we come to you guys every Saturday with a fresh batch of topics, trying to, you know, enlighten you guys, entertain you guys, make a smile happen. Maybe share some emotional, touchy-feely moments. You know, we haven't got to that part yet, but we may have a few topics in the near future that it'll be a heart-to-heart. We'll get to that when the time calls for it, bro.
Yep.
But I'm your host, Stefan, here at my boy.
It's your boy, Jiggy.
And thank you guys for tuning in again. Jiggy, bro, how you been?
I've been good, man. Everything been copacetic.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Family good. You know, it was cold. It's still a little cold, man. It just coming in and out. But, yo, shout out to everybody in New York. I know it was a snowstorm. It's real cold, so I hope everybody's safe.
Hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's got their heater on.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
People need that heat.
Yeah.
You stop playing. Because it's coldest winter. Connie, it's the coldest winter. You know? Some people kicking outdoors.
Oh, shit.
That was a low blow. Low blow. No, for real. I hope everybody in New York is safe. I've never seen snow, bro. As a South Florida native, I've never seen snow in real life.
Snow?
I've seen hail.
Man. You seen hail?
Seen hail, but
Unfortunately.
Never seen snow. Unfortunately, bro. It felt like someone threw a rocket at my head, bro.
Isn't that like, that's like a bad representation of snow, hail.
Oh, my God. It's like, I was watching Family Guy the other day, and it was like when Stewie made an evil copy of himself. That's what hail is. It's like evil snow. You know what I'm saying? That shit it's rude.
Wow, yeah.
It cracks. Like, I've seen videos like of really bad hailstorms cracking people's windows. I'm like, nah.
I've never seen hail. You know that? I've never seen hail. Oh.
Tell you one thing, you go to Chicago in the right time, you'll see some hail. I got hit in the head with an ice rock, and I turned around real slow because I'm in the rack. It's like, you know what, man? Let me not look too aggressive. Could be an honest mistake. But listen, you guys, thank you for tuning in once again. We're gonna start this pod to celebrate Black History Month. This is gonna be our last official pod recording during Black History Month. And we just want to highlight a few people that maybe aren't in your usual textbooks at school, or, you know, maybe people don't bring up commonly.
Yeah.
We celebrate Black history every day.
Yes,
I feel like this podcast has done a really good job of like exemplifying that and highlighting those things and trying to be a good representation when it comes to just being pro-Black.
Yeah.
Right? So Jiggy, did you want to start us off? You want to go first?
So, you know, like you said, you know, Black History Month, we definitely want to, you know, shine a light on some of the great Black people before us, right? I have two people in mind that, you know, I definitely want to, you know, just, you know, throw it out there just to keep their name buzzing, keep their name out there, and just show exactly what they did and just give a quote based off of what they did. So I do have my first person that I do have here is Shirley Chisholm, right? So basically, she became the first Black woman to be elected into the United States Congress, right? And it's very important because she was the first to be, you know, in the Democratic Party to be elected as a woman, not just a Black woman, but just as a woman to be actually elected or tried to be president, right? And it was very important because, you know, a lot of women out there, you know, I know some people know her story, but not a lot of people know it. And a lot of women, you know, don't look to her as like somebody to look up to, but she's done a great job of fighting that war of the system, right? And learning everything that she needs to know to make sure that she can fight the system and understand the system itself. And she actually made moves to get to that part. So I definitely wanted to shine a light on her. Another one is one of my favorites, right? Thurgood Marshall, all right? And one of the reasons why is because, you know, I went to school in Harlem, and there's a school called Thurgood Marshall Academy, and, you know, they talked about him a lot. You see his picture when you walk in, and it was very important for us to see that every day, right? He was the first first African-American justice in the Supreme Court, right? So he challenged our legal system, right? So if you guys don't know, right, he was part of the Plessy versus Ferguson rule that upheld segregation, right? And he also was the one who ended segregation with the Brown versus Board of Education, right? So he was somebody that broke down those barriers, right? And just to go off the one of the quotes he said that, yeah, I hope some of you can just, you know, go off of and just thrive with is, He said this quote: "When you see wrong or inequality or injustice, speak out, because this is your country, this is your democracy. Make it, protect it, and pass it on." Right. And I hope you guys can take that, interpret it any way you want to, and just feel those words, because if you do see an injustice, speak on it, because that's when change happens. And just to give a quote from Shirley Temple, I also demonstrated that we can still make changes. I am always and will be I will always be a catalyst for change. Right? These two people broke down barriers in our justice system, and they showed that we can do it. Right? And they always wanted to implement change. So if anything that you guys take from Black History Month, or some of the people that we may bring up today, is that change is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we do what we got to do and continue on the path that we've already set, we are going to continuously make change and fix these injustices.
Well, great job, bro. Smoked it. I loved it. Loved
Thank
every
you,
second
bro.
of that, man. I just want to take a moment to highlight James Baldwin. He was an author, an activist. He was, I believe this was Time. Time magazine has him as one of the top 100 English. Has him as one of the top 100 English novelists. Good friends with Malcolm X. I think I came across James Baldwin more in-depthly with the movie I Am Not Your Negro. Very powerful movie. Definitely suggest watching that on, I believe it's on Hulu still, if I'm not mistaken, either Hulu or even HBO Max. One of the things I loved about him the most was like his way of words. Even us being like podcasters, gravitating towards that, seeing how his mind thought, seeing how he viewed the world, and just wanted to highlight him because I feel like he's probably one of the least spoken about. My next person is Angela Davis, who you really don't hear about at all, but she's still with us, thank God. So this is a chance for her to give her flowers. And she was a feminist, political activist, philosopher, academic author, held classes at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and probably most notoriously, what she might be known for some people who don't know, is in 1972, she beat a murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy case against an all-white jury. Just one of those moments where you had to tip your hat to a Black woman in that situation, fighting for her freedom, standing up for justice and equality. And once again, we can't thank not just the people who we highlighted, but all those who came before us enough for all their contributions, because we would not be here today. And we tip our hats to you, we salute you, and we celebrate you guys every day. So thank you once again, and happy Black History Month, everybody.
Absolutely.
To roll into that, our first topic that we have for you guys is, how do we continue to pass that torch on, right? How do we teach the next generation how to, they're not going to be exactly like the old generations, because naturally times change, things change, and generations change, but I believe that that fire still has to be ablaze, right?
Right.
And part of the reason why I brought this up is because some of my friends who were educators in the school system was telling me about how there was a planned protest for ICE with the high school kids, but I believe it didn't actually happen because a lot of the high school kids end up being taught that, like, not taught, but or told, like, what are you guys protesting? How does a protest affect things? Or are you guys just going to go home, not show up to school, and then just be on Twitter all day or TikTok all day? And it made me think, I'm like, you know what? They got a point, because protesting as a demonstration, if it doesn't attack a specific problem or just, get to a point or have a lasting impact, which is probably more boycotting. And I think that's the other half of protesting that often doesn't get spoke about, is how do we actually organize in ways that make our points felt and heard.
Mm. Mm. I mean, you know, I think I was talking about this in like one of the previous episodes as far as like an individual protest. You know, when you say you're going to do it and you actually do it, you're not looking at you know, other people to make sure things get done. Once you start it, you know what I mean? Kind of like leading by example in certain ways, you know? And as long as, you know, but it's tough. You know, Steph, you know, I'll be honest with you, you know, the protests is very tough because it takes a lot of sacrifice. Right. And you got to think about, you know, what are people willing to sacrifice in this world where we become accustomed to the things that we shouldn't be relying on so much. You know, we eat food, we eat a whole bunch of food we don't need to eat. We buy a whole bunch of clothes we don't need to buy. And we just excessively do things that we don't really need. You get what I'm saying? And then it becomes a point where, you know, we don't even think to ourselves, are we willing to sacrifice those things because, you know, we've become so fond of having those things. And it should be the easiest things to sacrifice those things because, you know, we really don't really need all those materialistic things as people, right? So, you know, the sacrifice, what are you willing to give up? Understanding what's worth it and what's not worth it, you know what I mean? And, you know, I think that in today's world, those conversations need to be had because I think a lot of people are blinded by a lot of these materialistic things out here, which keeps the control over people instead of that change actually happening.
That is all 100% facts, and that goes into a lot of that capitalism talk we've had before.
Yeah.
I think from my point of view, I think it's convenience. I think people, quote unquote, protest at their convenience when protests were meant to be uncomfortable. Like those boycotts where they weren't taking buses meant you had to carpool with people more. You had to walk further distances. It was undoubtedly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think so much of that has changed because now everything's just done from this device here. Everything is like, well, I'm going to put this tweet out. I'm going to make a TikTok about it. I'm going to put this Instagram post, and you might feel fulfilled in doing that. But it just gets lost in this digital space. And the higher ups that you're trying to reach, I don't think they can care less about it.
Yeah.
I don't think they care about our tweets or our TikTok videos or, you know, I think at times if the outrage is loud enough,
you
know, they'll make a point to address it, but will they actually change? You know, I think the best protest I've seen done in a long time was how people chose to not shop at Target. And Target felt that in their quarterly earnings. And you brought up even just buying things we don't need. Are you guys willing to sacrifice your AI tools? Are you guys willing to sacrifice your movie subscriptions? Are you willing to sacrifice your entertainment? Because a lot of the control that's happening now is through entertainment and distractions. So how do we get a younger generation that's born into the world where like, bro, these kids can answer tablets and iPads by the time they're 2. It's actually insane. So it's like they're almost like indoctrinated into this mindset of like not being focused or of, you know, living life digitally.
Yep.
And I think that's where they probably have to break out of it and understand like, okay, well, you know, we see the injustices happening, but you know what? Maybe leaving school isn't the right way to do it because we need to get educated so we can actually learn how to attack this problem. Maybe it's going to come, I mean, mind you, if we're talking about like high school kids, probably not able to vote, you know what I mean? But it's going to come at how we show up at the ballots. But this is not just a conversation for high school kids because I'll be honest with you, it's a lot of adults. You'd be surprised how many people 30 and up, 25 and up, 40 and up are just as distracted as the kids are.
But you know, it's so funny, right? Because it's like, as if we put it out there, what's going on, right? To let them know exactly what's going on. They are so easy to control that narrative, right? So even with like that ICE video, right? It becomes hard for people to actually have that disdain, that actual feeling to actually want to do something. As soon as it comes out, a narrative is controlled, right? And it makes it hard for people actually to trust if, okay, is this something I should get mad about? Is this something I should do? You know what I mean? And it happens. They have that sole control over the narrative. Yo, bro, have you ever realized like and it, you know, I don't know if it plays into this conversation, but have you ever realized like over time it's like technology has well advanced, but the product hasn't?
Oh yeah, I get what
You
you're
know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you have an iPhone,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, wow, we got to this point, but it doesn't advance at a certain point.
Right,
But technology itself has advanced. And
Right.
like if we wanted iPhones to fly, we can make them fly and fly
Right.
to us and drone
Right,
to us.
drones, all that.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Right.
But people have to realize, right? We don't live in a society where if it makes sense, you know, we're gonna do it. No, it has to make money first.
That's what I was.
You
That's
know
what
what I'm
I was
saying?
thinking the same
Like it
thing.
has to make
I was right there
make
with you.
money first, right? So just drawing it back to the narrative part, right? It there's so many ways, so many different solutions out there, so many questions, and we would love for you guys to like, you know, throw it in the comments and just give us your perspective on this, you know, and what do you think about it, you know, because it's a very interesting thing. Concluding on what I would think or my opinion on it. Oh man, it's so much to learn, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot to learn. I'll say this as far as the narrative, you know, like the same way beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
A narrative can only go as far as a person knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So no matter how, you know, people might try to paint a certain picture, once you do your research and you've done your due diligence to fact check things, be slow to react, and it's quicker to take your time and digest information, then all these narratives can be dispelled and you can just approach people with the cold, hard truth, the cold, hard facts. Things are undisputable. You look up in the sky, you see the sun.
Yep.
You can't write a narrative about the sun, and that's how we got to start approaching some of these talks, because trust me, they will, like you're right with the narratives, they will wiggle their way out of it. Even when you think you got them pigeonholed to something, it's like, they'll try to slip and duck and move out the way. So it's just coming with more information and knowing how to keep repeating the truth, keep repeating the facts the same way they repeat the lies. Speaking of things about being repeated, something that shouldn't be repeated is harmful slurs, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there was a harmful slur thrown during the BAFTAs. Now, I was not all the way familiar with the BAFTAs, right? This is actually the first time I've ever heard about it. And it was man, I'm telling you, this is probably one of the more polarizing topics because the N-word was thrown at Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo at the BAFTA while they were presenting an award. And I'm just going to play the audio. It's an 11-second clip, but I'm going to play the audio so that y'all can hear it. I apologize. Speaker was already on. I'm messing up already, dog.
It's waiting for you.
I'm waiting for me, man. Suspense at its finest.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to celebrate.
Wait.
One more time.
Presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
Wait, hold on. I thought you just said he said nigga.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. He said nigga bitch.
Yeah, disjointed. The nigga came in, and then that B word came maybe a split second afterwards, right?
Yeah.
You know, the gentleman in attendance that said that is John Davison, who was also there to win an award for a movie that he did to promote like the awareness of Tourette's and the struggles of a person dealing with Tourette's. He himself has Tourette's, hence his outburst, right? Now, the big thing online was, you know, how do we digest that, right? How do, especially as Black people, do we digest such a harmful word being thrown at us during that program? And here's the thing, the BAFTAs wasn't live. Usually like live events, you might have like a 30-second tape delay where they can edit things out. This thing was 2 hours lagged or pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So the producers had ample time to take out any slur, curse word. If there was like an outfit meltdown, I'm sure they could blurt it out, right? And there was an instance where someone was saying free Palestine, and they blurred that out, but they let this N-word thing fly and take place. And there's been a lot of theories about They're doing it for engagement because that's how they really feel. And, you know, it's unfortunate that they're almost using this man who has Tourette's as a conduit to get off some sick rage bait, you know? But I want to hear your opinion, your reactions on it first. How'd you feel about it?
You know, that situation, like he has a disorder, right? Which becomes kind of, you know, hard to control. You know, which puts him in a situation where he's in like kind of like an uncontrollable situation, if you want to just say that, right?
Right.
Of course, you know, he did say what he said. You know, I look at it like this, man. There's a lot of things in people's life. You know, if you don't have Tourette's or you do have Tourette's, that it's out of your control, and things happen. You get what I'm saying, and it can be you can have Tourette's or it can be brought for pure emotion. Think about it like this: you seen Will Smith get up there and you slap Chris Rock. Right, and I mean he doesn't have a disorder, right? But you see that he went up there and he did something, you know, and it was like an uncontrollable feeling when he sees his wife look at him based off of what Chris Rock said, and he feels like he has to do something about it, right? And it, you know, of course, it's two totally different situations, right? But two totally different situations because I'm not comparing Tourette's to what Will Smith did. I'm just like trying to just understand that sometimes you're in situations where it's just like, you know, it's hard for you to control, right? And things may happen, right? With that being said, I do think, you know, with him knowing what that word means to certain people, I do think he should apologize, right? Because he didn't mean to do it. We understand he didn't mean to do it. And apologizing is just saying, hey, listen, my bad. You know, I didn't mean to do that. And it's something I'm working on, right? I've seen a lot of people on the internet feel like, hey, listen, but think about it, though. That was the first thing to come out of his mouth, right? You know, maybe it's some hitting feelings behind it, right? We don't know, right? All I know is that a lot of people have hidden feelings. And if it was to come to surface, a lot of things would be changed for a lot of you, right? And we need to just start accepting people for who they are, right? But then also, too, holding them accountable, right? And I think that in this situation, with him having his situation, apologizing for it, with us knowing that he has that type of, you know, disorder, I think it would be more helping to us moving past that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I'll start in the front of Tourette's. This was a discussion that I think even educated me, you know. Like, we've all may have heard of Tourette syndrome before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a South Park fan, so I remember the infamous episode where Cartman faked having it so he can say mean things to people, which is insane already, right? Yeah. And people might be thinking like, oh, that's what they want to say, or that's like some precognitive notion that they were just thinking up and they just blurted out. But a lot of Tourette's content creators stepped forth, black ones included, just to explain like what a tic is. And I think one thing that drove home was when one of them said, she said, Tourette's is like knowing not to say the worst thing at the worst time and it happening anyway. Like walking into an airport and saying like bomb, like someone with Tourette's would like pop off, and explain that like a tic is something that can't be controlled. Like if you can't control it, then it's not a tic. I've come across people who've had Tourette's, older, younger. I mean, nothing ever directed at me, but just seeing like a tic happen in real life, and it's being understanding of it. It could be a weird motion, it could be a jump, it could be a shake, it could be a noise. Like it's not universal, right? So I think there is some level of understanding that has to come with that. He did issue a statement, but I think one thing that people had an issue within the statement was he didn't actually say like, I'm sorry to Michael B. Jordan or Delroy Lindo. He was more so explaining what his condition is. And I think that should be understanding. I mean, you know, an apology, it's hard for me to say like an apology needs to be issued to something that we know is a disability in a way, you know what I'm saying? And it's such a funny thing to deal with because, you know, we like to say sticks and stones, but really and truly words hurt.
Yeah.
Especially with words like that has such heavy historical context behind it, and it's coming from a white person. So there's always that doubt, and I don't blame any black person for feeling offended. And you gotta really tip your hat to how the two gentlemen, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, handled themselves on that stage in that moment, being professional, still being able to go on and present the award, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I know we would like an apology. Someone else brought up the fact that like if this was a black person with success and they said something like they probably would have been drugged through the mud and there would be less understanding, which I get that too, because it seems like whenever there's a misstep from someone notable in our community, it's an all-out smear campaign, But I just really want to be fair to people who struggle with that and understanding, like, bro, just imagine, going through life not being able to filter things, going through life worried about people judging you for something that you cannot control. I can imagine that in itself is something weighty and something that should be just taken with some grace. So in this moment, just following Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo's example, giving that man some grace. But who I won't give grace to is the people at the BAFTAs. I mean, all the technology in the world, previous on the program, like I said, you blurred out something else, but you chose to let that slide. And in my mind, I really wonder why. And it just always makes me feel like it's okay to just like shit on black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys sat there behind your control panels and you've turned the world on someone who has a disability. You've, offended millions, if not billions, of black people. And I want to see who's losing their job off this. Who dropped the ball? It's a 2-hour tape delay. You're talking about, it's not like it happened instantaneously. If it was live, I'd have been like, a 2-hour tape delay, bro? It's like you could have let a whole 30 minutes pass. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour and 15, and you still let that slide. That to me is the more insidious thing. That to me is the real corporate, is the producers at the network.
Let me ask you this then. Let's say that they didn't release that video, right? Mm-hmm. And it came out that at the award show, right? Because now you don't have the video of it for where you can draw your own conclusion. They said that somebody was throwing racial slurs at the two people that are up there, Michael B. Jordan and the other dude, right? And, they say it happened. They don't have the video or anything like that. They just kind of have audio or whatever the case is. Or they found a way to just put it out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the perception of it would be totally different.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? It would be totally different. I truly think that, people being outraged by it, I honestly, bro, we have bigger fish to fry. That's just how I feel. I do feel like this is, based on your view, right? You can be black, white, yellow. It can be totally different in somebody's view. That's all I'm saying, right? And I just think that it was more of a liability issue, more of I'm not going to be held accountable for this type of situation happening. I'm putting it out there. We know who said it. This is who you can hold responsible. He's somebody who did respond to it, and he held himself accountable by you saying that he kind of,
right.
He said, by apologizing, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that them putting it out there. Now, if he would have said, if I'm wrong, if he would have said, there's a 2-hour delay, they should have never played this. I have Tourette's. They know I have this. This is something they would have blocked out. Then I would have been looking at it more like that. Maybe they're trying to, you know what I mean? So
I'll just say, I know that, because like I said, they invited all these people. I think he was going to be awarded that way that night too. So they were aware, from what I've read, is that they were aware. They also let people in the audience know that someone with Tourette's is indeed in attendance. Mm-hmm. So why I say the ball is on them and why they dropped it is because you knew that. So you should be censoring. So like I said, the video came out and it's censored, and you just hear Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo presenting the award. None of this ever happens. And then if someone were to come out and say like, oh, they were called this on the N-word and we didn't have the audio or the video, I'm sure other people, I would assume responsibly, would say, hey, no, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
Like, hopefully if they were responsible enough that, I don't know how many people are in attendance, but if it's a room of 30 people, I would at least assume 5. I would at least assume, even in that situation, like a Michael B. Jordan or Delroy Lindo might come forth and say, hey, no, it wasn't really like that. Listen, what happened was this. He has Tourette's syndrome. We're understanding of it. And we know that his outbursts and his takes aren't reflections of him personally. And that's a fight, I think, that people with Tourette's do have to fight, bro. And I'm sympathetic to it because I've been in classrooms with kids with disabilities, not just Tourette's, but like all types. And, they have sometimes emotional outbursts, or they might have, physical outbursts. And, it's a sensitive thing. You don't want some of the more vulnerable people in our society to feel an extra weight of that social pressure because they already may feel like they're not quote unquote normal. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that if we put such heavy judgment and we start saying, oh, but this person's this, and, they said this, knowing very well that they have a disability that doesn't allow them to process and control things, right? And like I said, these aren't necessarily even thoughts. Like I think the best word for it is tics. It's a tick, and it happens. But if you understand what this is, then, like you say, bigger fish to fry. Like, kind of no harm, no foul.
So let me ask you this. So with that being said, if you want to hold them accountable instead of the individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then at that point, they shouldn't invite people with that type of disorder. Right? I don't agree with that. Yeah. I'm just saying, based off the point you're saying, it would just draw to that at that point.
I wouldn't even say that, because I would say it's incumbent upon you to further make things safe and comfortable for them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm building a home and I know a family member is paralyzed or in a wheelchair, I should build a ramp, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm inviting them over my house, I should have some type of wheelchair accessibility just to make that person feel comfortable. So, like, I just feel like they dropped the ball on so many levels. They didn't protect Michael B. Jordan or Delroy Lindo. They didn't protect the man. Let me just get his name again.
But from what? Protect him from what?
Even just protecting him from himself, knowing his condition, knowing his outbursts, knowing what he's prone to. You should put yourself in an environment where it's like, he's gonna have outbursts.
But he's normal. It was just a moment. So I don't think we should look at it like
David Johnson.
Oh my God, he's
I'm sorry, John Davison. I apologize, John Davison.
Yeah.
So
you know what I mean?
So, but that's what I mean. Like, you treat him normal, but like I said, this is like anything else. If you have a young child in the house, you should probably cover up the outlets in the wall so they don't stick something in the wall and shot themselves. You know what I mean? Like, just responsibly put a safe space for everybody.
I agree, though. I agree with you.
It's just having a safe space for people.
I agree with that point.
And I imagine that the 2-hour delay was for a reason, knowing that you invited him here, knowing something like that might happen. But
yeah,
it is what it is, man. Prayers to everybody, and this moment, I think it's about grace. You know who's not showing no grace to nobody, bro?
Who that?
50 Cent and T.I. aren't showing no grace to each other.
Yo, bro, you don't think, yo, bro, seriously though, if 50 Cent actually like made a diss song right now, bro, it would be crazy, right?
Crazy good or crazy bad?
No, it'd be crazy good.
All right. Okay.
Because then now, so for instance, this is and I'm gonna be honest with you too. Like, T.I.'s been putting out some good music, right? Now, I personally want to see, because I think with 50 Cent, this is just me, but I think 50 Cent is just making sure it gets a little bit more amped up. But once the numbers hit a certain point and he knows it to sell this, then he may entertain it. You get what I'm saying? And right now, I think, truly too, I think T.I.'s putting out some crazy stuff, but I just want him to stop putting out songs. He's like putting out a song every day. You know what I'm saying?
And he dropped 2 songs like on the way here. I don't know if you've even seen that.
Bro,
like legitimately.
T.I., please stop. And I'm not saying stop because it's not good. I'm saying stop because you need to get a response first. Please, bro. Because you put out 5 songs, bro. I'm not gonna be able to retain that. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And then all he gonna do is meme one picture to 5 songs. And the ratio was not there. You get what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? So, you know, I know T.I. got some good music. But I definitely would want to hear 50 Cent put out a song because at this point we know we have 2 people that are great at what they do, right? And if we can get good music, you know, i.e. T.I., you know what I'm saying? We might get some good music out of 50, but then also we might get a hit TV show out of 50, right? And then us as fans, we're not seeing anything like violence or anything, but we actually getting some great creative genius work. And that's what I hope is the ending of this, that we get some great work by these people, and both of them can look at it and be like, yo, that's a great time in history, in hip hop history or whatever. So I'm really, really excited to see what they can do next, because I don't think it's what everybody thinks it is.
You know, here's my thing. I kind of have to go back to how this all started, right? T.I. wanted to do a versus with 50. T.I. felt like his catalog could compete with 50's catalog in a versus. And he called him out just like on some rap stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let's do this versus. I could take you down, blah, 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 right? 50 didn't like that. Say he's not doing the verses. And took personal shots at T.I. And then he took personal shots at his family and started posting his wife, Tiny. At that point, T.I.'s son King jumped out and pretty much made a whole video talking about 50 Cent and how 50 Cent's mom's dead and post your dead mom and da-da-da-da-da, and start to get really, really personal. Mind you, all off of just a friendly competition call-out, right? And I love hip-hop. I love, a good rap battle when like they're warranted, when they're prompted. I didn't look at this situation as like, yo, I really can't wait to hear a 50 Cent diss track in 2026. I haven't, heard anything for 50 in over almost 20 years.
You didn't want to hear a diss track from T.I. either.
No, I didn't. But that's what I was gonna get to with T.I. is that T.I. has been way more active musically than 50 Cent has over the last 15 years. 50 Cent basically stopped music completely probably around 2011, 2012. 2013, the latest. Just been in his movie bag, in his mogul bag. But 50 Cent is a notorious troll. 50 Cent is an aggravator. 50 Cent is petty. 50 Cent is the definition of if it's up, then it's stuck. 50 Cent don't let nothing go. We just talked about, or did we talk about on camera the Ja Rule situation with Tony Ayo and Uncle Murder and the plane?
Yeah, they was throwing cheese crackers at Ja Rule.
Man, waste a good cheese crackers, man.
Ja was like, I'm not doing this.
If y'all gonna waste the cheese crackers, get the cheese crackers to the people and coach. We want give us the cheese crackers.
Don't worry, too. I make up the story. It's different every time. That's not the true story, but I just make it up different every time. It's just funny.
Good interpretations. I still want them cheese crackers, man. Don't waste no cheese crackers out there. Good Ritz.
Good Ritz.
But that's who 50 is. But what stood out to me is like, 50? It's 50.
Yeah.
It's like, like as I always said, middle school me, Jew in the shoulder, baby. I just ain't wearing them tight-ass tank tops. You know what I'm saying? I love what 50 Cent has brought to hip-hop culture. I think 50 Cent makes amazing TV shows, movies. I mean, I bought before I self-destruct. Not even so much for the music, but I genuinely wanted to see the movie that came with the CD. It was fire. Great independent movie, right? This, to me, right, when you start talking about someone's dead mom, when you start attacking women, you start attacking children. I know some of your audience may not know about T.I. T.I. got caught at the BET Awards with a lot of ammunition, military-grade stuff. T.I. is one of the rappers who not too many people fake and say, hey, he don't live his raps or he's faking his line. Them guns was silencers, machine gun, everything. T.I. is one of them. I don't want to see it get to a place of violence at all. So I just feel like the whole thing should just stop. Because I know 50's not about to rap with T.I. And T.I. has a hit record out. Like his new song, produced by Pharrell, fire. Let him know, I think it's called. Amazing. But when you're bringing up someone's wife and stuff like that, it don't feel like it's fun anymore. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel like entertaining. And like, I'm excited for T.I.'s final album. Interested to see what he decides to do to close out his, luxurious music career with. 50, I want to see 50 keep doing 50 things and, producing great movies and films. But bringing in, like 50 Cent lost his mom at a young age to violence, to gun violence. I think he was around 8 or 9 at the time, Mm-hmm. But mind you, I know when you bring in someone's wife, it's like all bets are off, which is why I just say for both men who are legends, cut it out. Cut it out. Like, T.I., please, no more diss records. 50, no more memes. We don't really need the memes. Especially if it's like bringing in bystanders who have nothing to do with it.
It's so interesting, right? Like I'm behind the signs that you like. T.I. is coming out with some great music, but it's not like I can't wait to hear no damn T.I. music, right?
Right.
Anything that T.I. might come out with, I'm not waiting at the door to go get it.
I get that. Trust me.
If 50 Cent is doing something, there may be people waiting at the door to go get it, right? Mm-hmm. I look at it more as 50 Cent doesn't look at him as far as a selling ticket in order to match up with him. I know everybody's like, oh, T.I. this, T.I. that. Yeah, bro, but it's rap, and rap don't sell. So you talking to, and I'm just looking at the business and the logistics of it. Like, you talking to somebody that is making money, and when he's trying to make money, it has to sell, not just from his part, but on your part. That means that T.I. is going to have to make 5-10 songs in order to get to a point where 50 Cent will feel like, okay, if we did something, it'd actually sell. And to that point, he's going to meme him. He's going to do that because it's not worth his time money-wise. But y'all want somebody like 50 Cent to go ahead and entertain that when he can probably even lose money off of entering into a rap battle. It doesn't make sense at a certain point. But I know it's good for the fans, but you got to think about it and just put it in perspective. T.I. is calling him out. He's not calling T.I. out because it's going to help. It's not going to help. This would not help 50 Cent. This would help T.I. But am I wrong about that?
The only thing I'll say that you're wrong on, because it's like, because you're right, like a rap battle does not behoove 50 Cent whatsoever. Nothing in music behooves 50 Cent whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
forget behoove. It doesn't sell.
No, when I say behooves, like, that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't. It's no enticing or saying like, yeah, that's a reason for me to go into the, like, 50 Cent has not put his money into music, like I said, in decades at this point, right? The Versus is a different thing. Because the Versus is like an outside entity. Like, I believe they're still owned by Swiss Beats and Timbaland, and they're partnered with Apple, if I'm not mistaken. And logistically, no matter who it's been, anybody who's participated in the Versus, and these are older acts, these aren't like new acts, these are legacy acts, comparing catalogs, it's usually in a celebratory fashion, the streaming numbers spike like over 100%. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that 50 Cent needs that, but where I'm saying is that's just where it started from. We're so far removed from the Versus. Like, what we're seeing happening now is that 50's responding how 50's responding to in memes. T.I.'s responding how he knows how to respond in music. And neither one of these gentlemen need money. These are uber.
So you don't think that's disrespectful?
Uber rich.
to say that 50 Cent responds in memes when he's actually downplaying it. Like, he's not responding. So y'all think his response by posting a picture of Tiny and all this stuff is an actual response from 50 Cent that plays into, like, this being a battle? I'm going to tell you one thing, bro. So if somebody, there's certain people that certain people that look at people that's no competition. And that person may be trying to do everything. You know what I'm talking about. There was a time you was playing ball, bro. And it was this person that kept wanting to play you every day. So you going to understand this point.
Yeah.
Every day.
Right.
You would have 50 Cent in this situation.
Right.
And play me one-on-one. Play me one-on-one. Oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Every day. And you were like, I'm not playing you. Why did you say that, Steph?
No, I get it, because he's not
exactly my point.
But that's my.
He would have to come in one day and done something to change your mind and be like, oh, let me actually play this dude.
But that's the only thing. That's the only thing. This is the small difference, because you're right. I'm not saying that like 50 Cent has to entertain T.I. even in the verses.
Okay.
If 50 Cent just said, I don't want to do the verses,
okay,
I don't think you're worth it, it dies there.
Yeah.
It dies right there.
But is he making 50 Cent's making money off this little thing though? Still.
I can't say if he is or not. I'm not sure. But only thing is, right, if you say that you died the verses, T.I.'s probably like, all right, cool. You know, on to the next. I'll go against my catalog with Lil Wayne, because I think he mentioned even wanting to do a verses with Lil Wayne at one point, right? Like, T.I. wants to do a verses with somebody. He wants to do a verses with somebody.
You get somebody to battle. Who's going to battle
somebody.
him?
But like I said, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You 50 attacked a man's wife. Not just a man's wife. At the very least, a reformed street niggas.
So what did he say about Tiny specifically?
First of all, I just feel like, you know,
I do think it's disrespectful to post somebody's wife. What did he say though?
I can't remember the caption. I know he posted a picture, and if we're being honest, we've all seen the chatter about Tiny and how people might feel about her and how she looks or whatever the case may be, you know, online.
Listen, if T.I. looked at that picture and he looked at her like, oh, he posted my wife because she's beautiful, then and 50 didn't say nothing crazy, then.
But like you said,
beautiful.
At the end of the day, you know, like, no man should be beautiful, not beautiful, anything in between. Like, even if he just posted, like, just like Pusha T said when he went and bombed on Drake, he said no man would ever mention this woman's name again.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. Like, Drake went with the make it ring like Regina Williams. Pusha T said, bet. Tick, tick, tick. That boy is sick, sick, sick. All bets are off at that point.
To make 5 songs?
You know, listen, man. Listen, 5 songs, 5 memes. Like I said, for me, I just feel like it don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent ain't rapping with like 50. Like, come on. He's not going. 50 Cent is not gonna take, like you said, time is money for him. He ain't gonna take his time to go in a booth, hire an engineer, get a producer, make a beat, write a 16. He ain't doing all that. So it's just like, to me, all this leads nowhere. So I just wish, I want both of them to cut it out, because I just feel like both of them have better things to do with their time. And I, once again, don't bring no women involved. Like, in the verses, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, bro, I called you out for the verses. You posted my wife. It's like, what we doing? I can't be mad at any man responding how they may respond at that point when it comes to their wife and the mother of their kids. That's just me. You know, take it how you want. Whatever come with it, come with it. But while we're in music, Baby Keem. Man. Got a round of applause for you, my boy. Baby Keem's album came out last week, Friday. Had a good week to sit with it. Short listen. It was only 37 minutes long. 11 tracks, if I'm not mistaken. I like 8 out of 11 tracks a lot. The other 3 I thought were decent. You know, I can listen to. Even those 3 songs are growing on me. I think what I love the most about Baby Keem's album is how the visual of that documentary series that he was putting out leading into the album really helped bring the album alive. And let me ask you a question. You ever heard of a rapper from Las Vegas?
No.
Right? not to my knowledge, not that I can think of. Maybe if I'm wrong, maybe there's a rapper out there that I didn't know that's from Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But Keem to me is like the first rapper from Las Vegas that I've really listened to, right? Las Vegas by way of Long Beach. His family moved from Long Beach to escape, you know, the gang violence in Los Angeles County to go to Las Vegas. And Keem details what that was like beautifully in this album. And it felt extremely personal. He talks about not just what Las Vegas did to his family, but like what people in Las Vegas go through. And he was saying like, you know, like he references Las Vegas like in a slang, calling it casino. And he's like, you know, Las Vegas, for everyone knows Las Vegas is where like prostitution is illegal. So he's like, the suicide rates up here is like high. Like it's either their, you know, the gambling addiction is killing them, or it's the prostitution life that's killing them, you know? And I was like, words like that brought me to a place. And I love when rappers can bring me into their world. And this album does such an amazing job of like bringing me into not just Las Vegas, but Keem's reality and his growing up and his trials and tribulations. The song No Blame was probably, there's a lot of heart-touching songs in this album, but that song right there, talking about his mom and his relationship with her, I don't believe she's here with Keem currently, and him not holding resentment for what he's had to go through, the things that he had to witness and bear with his mom. But this line, this is a sick double entendre when he said, "I was still a baby mama. My daddy disappeared. How do you neglect your baby mama?" And I'm like, oh, that's a tough double entendre. That is a tough one. Getting like, his dad's gone. You're his baby mama, but how do you neglect your baby mama? Like, how do you neglect me knowing that my dad's not here and he is so desperately needing you? So I just got to tip my hat to Keem, and having been listening to him since 2018, 2019, this is like the introduction to like his personal, like his inner self. And I truly appreciate how he delivered the album. Phenomenal.
Absolutely. Hey, bro, look, I don't know, bro. I mean, the album was good. I don't know. I think that personally, like, I don't know. I listened to all songs. I like the banger songs.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely described the album with more substance than I would come away with, of course. I mean, it was, you know, I said earlier to you, I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I would actually give it like a 6. I would actually give it a 6. And I gave it a 6 because, you know, I feel like there's more work that could have been done there. As far as, I know it depicted his life as far as and how you showed it, especially that casino you just described is beautiful and stuff like that. As far as you know, I guess I know his last album he had was like more introduction to like, I guess his like his, you know, his style, us getting like, you know, used to it. And then this one's more, right? Vibes. And this was more of an introduction to who he is. Which was great. Like you said, Las Vegas, Nevada. So, but I don't know, 6 out of 10 for me, bro. To be honest with you, I personally think that you know, it's a lot more work he could be done, but it's room for improvement, right? So I say 6 because I feel like he can get to 9.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I feel like he can get to 9. I feel like to say that his album, to me personally, to say that his album's higher than anything higher than anything than a 9, that's when you'll be comparing it to like a Kendrick, a J. Cole, and things of that nature. And I feel like he has a way to go. But as far as the younger people here, I feel like, you know, he's at the top of the game. You know, he's at the top of the game. I feel like people love like a young NBA, like NBA young boy. You get what I'm saying? And you probably would want to rather your people to listen, or the younger generation listen to Baby Keem, because he has the vibe, but also too he knows how to like do it within the rap way that a lot of people do. Like,
right.
You get what I'm saying? But no, I mean, great album. I think there's more to come from him that's going to be great. I only give it 6 out of 10 because I think it's, you know, he's gonna. No, I'm be honest with you, bro, right? Because I'm so used to this, like the mixtapes, the cold before the storm. You know what I mean? that, you know what I mean? Like, I personally, you know what I mean, would have loved to see, because Baby Keem, he's not, you know, we still getting used to him. I heard in his song too, he said it was 2 years after taking the vaccine. He was out for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I know that, but I definitely would wanted to hear like a mixtape, him on somebody else's, you know, that you know, just like a mixtape or something from him rapping
Like
on
a
different
warm-up,
beats.
I get
Yeah,
you.
like I want to hear Baby Keem on some of the, you get what I'm saying? So until he gets to that creative part, that's when I would start going in more into like giving him a higher rating and saying, oh, he's, you know what I mean? But until then, because he's good, I give it a 6 out of 10. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I mean, he definitely has room to grow. You know, such a young artist, 25 years old. I think he won a Grammy, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021. So definitely a bright star and has the world ahead of him. For me, I never actually thought about what I'll give it. If I had to think, I'll probably give it an 8 or 8.5. And the reason why is not only is the content dense and layered, but the production is phenomenal. I mean, really good new drum patterns in the production. I'm a sucker for piano keys on a beat. A lot of really good piano progressions and chords in this album. A lot of really interesting, good samples. I still want to go and research and figure out where did they get that sample from. And I mean, I just been listening to it nonstop since it came out. And one thing I like about new music is when I hear new music and I say, yeah, I can't get this nowhere else. Like, this is like a one-on-one. I felt that with Keem's album. I felt that when Kendrick released GNX. I felt that when the Clips let God Sort 'Em Out came out. I felt that with Michael by Killer Mike. I'm trying to think. And what's funny is it's like,
That's a lot of praise, bro. That's a lot of.
I mean,
Baby Keem's album is not that good.
Well,
hell no. I'm about to let you go. You're going crazy right now on Baby Keem, bro.
Hold on, wait, listen.
That shit is not that good.
Listen,
hell no, bro.
When I say, when I say,
that's where it gotta stop.
Listen. When I say,
Time
hold
out.
on. I'm not saying that album is as good as the albums I mentioned before, but I'm just talking about sonically. There's nothing out there that sounds like this Keem album. Like right now as it exists, I like individuality in music because it's creativity. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say if for nothing else, this is a highly creative album.
I would say this, right? And this is probably a hot take, right? Baby, listen, there was one song in the album, right, that sparked where I think his direction may go. And I may be wrong, right? And once this one song was on his album, it changed my whole look on him, right? And not in a bad way, right? So I was looking at him, Baby Keem, before, because remember he was coming up. I think it was who was coming up with him? Not TK, you know, was it those songs? Instant on my face. No, that was him. But anyway, there was a few younger rappers that were coming up with him, so I had them in that light. You know what I mean? I think NBA YoungBoy was coming up at the same time, around when he was doing his thing too. Anyway, he was like that young group. When I heard this, and it was a particular song, I forgot the name of it. He reminds me of like more of a Tyler Creator, right? And I don't. And when I listened to this, I was not expecting to get that type of feel from him.
What song was it off the album?
The pop song, and the only pop song on there.
Oh, the second to last track. You're talking about. I got you, bro.
So that song on there, and I listened to that song. I was like, well, if he go down that lane, then he gonna have to compete with this person.
Dramatic Girl.
Yeah. And I was like, and ain't no, you know, and Tyler Creator kind of owns that type of style. So now you said like individually he has this, and I was like, Kendrick, Tyler the Creator, Baby Keem. You get what I'm saying? And I got a lot. I guess what I got from his album. I got some Tyler Creator. I got some. Of course, you got Kendrick.
I heard some Andre 3000.
Andre 3000 in there. You get what I'm saying?
Some West Coast bops in it with the Too Short song. I love that song. The Sex
Too
Appeal.
Correct.
That's a
banger. That's like imagine if Tyler the Creator made a song with Too Short.
I don't think it sounds like
It
that.
would sound like Sex Appeal.
I don't think so.
Yo, run this back. People, please tell me.
I don't.
You tell me if this is true. Or not. If he made a song, if Tyler Creator made a song with Too Short, it would have sounded something like Sex Appeal.
You know why I say no? Only
How?
because. You know why I say no? It's because like Tyler's sound is so funkadelic, and so like
Popish too.
organized chaos and popish. But like when I heard Sex Appeal, I'm like, this sounds like a Bay Area bop that I haven't heard since like Tell Me What the Word Is or something like that. Like I said, like for me, like in the current landscape of things, it's hard for me to say like, yeah, that's where this comes from. I mean, I brought up No Blame. That sounded like that was like a more positive version of when Eminem made Cleaning Out My Closet, talking about his mama issues, but where M hates his mom, Keem does not resent his mom for anything she put him through and is so sympathetic to all the things she went through, which was amazing. Once again, we're talking about a 25-year-old, you know? I think M was probably like 26, 27 when he made In the Closet, but you know, these are some hot takes. We're gonna, you know, let us know how you feel about the album. You guys enjoyed Baby Keem's album? Are we overrating it? We gotta address our poll from last week. Cole versus Malice. I came back to say it's a draw. So if for nothing else, bro, you're right. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the gap isn't as wide as I try to make it seem between Cole's album and the Clips album. And I would also say, shout out to the homie Jason, I probably got to grade Cole on a bit of a curve when it comes to the album because it's a double disc and Cole does a lot on his own. And Malice has his brother, Pusha T, and Pharrell to also lean on in the creation of an album. So I can't really, probably not fair to judge those two albums one-on-one, especially when he got, to me, hot take, Pharrell's the greatest hip-hop producer of all time. Or maybe, greatest hip-hop producer of all time. Hot take, maybe not.
No.
Pharrell got too many hits, man. Pharrell got too
Yeah, see, this is going to be controversial if I say this
hits.
too. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's no producer better than Kanye. I don't care what nobody says. Ooh. So you saying Pharrell's better than Kanye, you're out of your mind.
Hey, but you know what's funny? No, this is not even funny because the two have always been kind of competing against each other. Like, you remember you seen the Ye dot that he put on? Was it Yeezus?
Yes.
Or Genius. When he played Pharrell, the college dropout, and all that, and then the Pusha T being the cheat code between the two of them. Pusha T being with Pharrell and with Kanye, and I don't know if you ever heard his interview on when he made Almost Dry. He was like, "Yeah, man, I was just." Like talking in both ears, like, oh, you know, nah, Kanye said he better than you. Hey, no, you know, Pharrell said he better than me. So he getting all the best beats from both of them, like just kind of playing the 50 with both of them, getting all the best beats. I love that album. Go listen to that Balance verse on I Pray For You. That boy rapping different. I mean, yeah, nah, I'm gonna start rapping that verse. That boy went crazy. But Kanye's in my top three, really. I would say it's Pharrell, Kanye, and Dr. Dre. The reason why I probably put Pharrell slightly ahead of Kanye is honestly, Let God Sort Him Out might be the
okay, I was wrong.
That might be the album that kind of set it off for me because I'm like if I said in recent years, outside of Pusha T's catalog, I haven't gotten, but dang, Pusha T got some great songs on his catalog from Kanye.
We were wrong, bro.
What?
And I think that we both should take back who we think is the best producer.
What, Dr. Dre?
Is the best producer. And I don't think there's anything, and I'm going to tell you why. And Dr. NWA was a game changer.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
And he produced that, right?
Right.
At a time when none of them were around. If he didn't, I personally think if he didn't produce, if he wasn't part of that, or that never came out, a lot of the stuff we hear today, not saying particularly like
I get what you're saying. No.
But a lot of stuff we hear today would not even be here.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? From the likes of And so he produced for 50 Cent, Eminem,
Right.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and countless other people, right? And not just the fact of producing, but actually changing a culture in a way that
He's a
you're
pioneer.
not going to see people change the NWA is a game changer, just like Public Enemy. Right?
You're right. No, you're right.
And the fact that he was part of that type of game-changing element, and then still in today's world and still changing it like that, that's like the people who produced, Public Enemy continue to produce certain things in today's world,
Right.
and to transition over. I don't think there's any producer that's been able to do that and transition over to each generation and still be able to have it sound, hit
Pristine.
wave. You know what I mean?
Right. And the thing is, because I'm with you. Like I said, it's a tough 3, and music is subjective.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's hard to say, but I am really trying to find this post, and I'm almost positive I saved it because it was going off of a list of just all the songs Pharrell has produced, and it's like Justin Timberlake, it's Noriega, it's The Clips, it's so many people, it's Fabulous, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's the Neptunes, like you're talking about changing cultures. I mean, the Neptunes and what they did even with fashion changed a lot of what we see today. Pharrell introduced the world to Babes, really. He brought like really bright colored pastels. He made skateboarding cool and hip hop. Like it's, once again, we're probably splitting hairs because we're talking about 3 of the greatest of all time. Because I feel like all 3 of these gentlemen, Kanye, Dr. Dre, and Pharrell, have an argument to be made. The thing that kind of makes me put Dre at 3rd is that Dre's lack of output. It's hard for me to say like, mind you, maybe some of these gentlemen don't have records as big as Dr. Dre, because Dr. Dre has had some massive records, but Kanye and Pharrell have a much larger music sample size than Dr. Dre does. And for you to still be at that high level with that much more ammo is a little bit crazy. I feel like the Kanye Pharrell thing might be a little bit closer than the Dre one, but Dre is a pioneer, and I get it. But those dudes have been making a lot of hits for a lot of times for some of songs that we probably forget. Like NERD was making even rock songs. It's a lot. It's a lot to get into.
80s.
Okay.
90s.
Okay.
2000s.
Okay.
2010s.
Nah. What songs you got into?
2010.
You see, that's
don't, bro. It's the truth. It's the truth. The game, like, what do you want to?
No, but the reason why I said because of Kendrick Lamar, mind you, he has some production credits with Kendrick, but Soundwave is.
But he's part of it. Just like you giving Pharrell that credit, you have to give Dr. Dre the credit for his.
No, I mean for the songs he got it.
everything.
He got it. We in the studio right now. Dr. ain't behind that keyboard with some of these songs, dog. Kendrick was signed to Aftermath via, you know what I'm saying? So his imprint is on it. But I'm talking about like, bro, what sounds did you make? You know what I'm saying? Like what
the
sound?
West Coast sound.
No. I'm talking about recently. I'm talking about recently. I'm talking about.
It's still the bop.
I'm talking about the output. Like, bro.
Yeah, you did.
Like I said, Dr. Dre is a notorious perfectionist.
What city did they put on?
Who?
What city?
The Clips. They put on the whole whole Virginia.
No, Pharrell. Is Pharrell from Virginia?
Yeah.
So he put the whole Virginia on.
Damn near.
2 people. So now Kanye. Who did he put on from
Chicago?
Chicago.
Not a whole lot. From
Chicago?
Chicago?
Now listen to me. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Kanye is a great producer.
Okay.
But he does not thrive. He's not the Chicago sound. Right?
No.
Pharrell is a great producer, but he is not Virginia's sound. If you think, come on, bro. It would be a Pharrell song it would be probably a Pusha T song or that was not produced by him.
Let me ask you, and the reason why I say it, because like Virginia, let me ask you something. If I said Missy Elliott, Pharrell, Timberland, and you think about their music, do they sound drastically different? Or do they sound like this all has like an origin
is
sound?
Totally different from Pharrell. totally his.
I
Oh
think
my gosh, it's totally different.
and the reason why I say not drastically different is that like Virginia is such a talent base for music, from D'Angelo, Pharrell, Chris Brown, the Clips, Missy Elliott, Timberland. I'm probably forgetting even others, but it's a really, really big music hub. Virginia got musical legends, right? Jodeci. I say all that just to say, like, I know, like, maybe Virginia doesn't have, like, you know how the what's that sound called with the West Coast?
That's what it is.
Like some people really hate that sound or really love that sound.
Yeah.
I forget what is the name of that sound actually is. It's escaping me at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, New York is quote unquote boom bap, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
even like current New York drill right now, which is, you can argue, is it New York, is it London, however y'all want to take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Virginia just sounds like soulful, it sounds funky, it sounds like innovative, you know what I mean? So that's my only comparison with those. What I will say is, to get back to our one of our main points about Cole versus Malice, in the draw, we'll call it a tie. And if you want the tiebreaker to be the women, though, the women say we like Cole more. And I understand.
It's not what Kanye said. No, I'm just like, I'm just
What
joking,
Kanye say about Cole?
I ain't gonna-
Okay.
I ain't
You ain't gonna do it? What Kanye say? Let me gas him up. What do you say, man? Say it with your chest.
What he said? He said. So he was like, J. Cole, get the pussy dry. J. Cole was like, all right, I got you. I got you on this album.
Hey,
He just
bro,
started, yo, bro.
Bro.
And you said, I ain't even gonna say you. Listen,
Bro.
he just started saying
bro,
crazy stuff in the
bro,
song.
that whole
I got you,
track,
K-Dot.
that whole
I
track,
got you.
that whole track sounded like a bad episode. Connie should have gotten out the booth.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, that
Yo,
beat was fire.
Yo, I got you. The
He made that
was
beat fire. I ain't gonna lie, he made the beat fire. I just think he jumped off too quick, but you know what I mean.
Listen,
You know,
this is a fun episode.
This is a fun episode.
This is a fun episode. Hey,
No.
listen, if y'all want a tiebreaker from me, the ladies got the tiebreaker, man. Gotta get a tiebreaker to the ladies. You know? I know Valentine's Day passed, but we still love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Thank y'all for tuning in with us for another week. This was fun, and we'll definitely be back very soon. And thank you for allowing us to continue to grow and kick it here with us. Jiggy, bro. We'll holler at them at the next one.
Yo,
Peace.
one.